The board expects your resignation in
6 months.
But you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Please.
Jim.
The board is unanimous. You're out.
Jim.
Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. You bet your ass I got Spurs that jingle jangle. And they sang, oh, ain't you glad Sony single. At long last, all the Jim crying, lying, high on cocaine flying, Ryan memes are coming to an end, sadly. That's really the only thing that upsets me about today's news. We have had some truly amazing characters featured on this channel, but I can't think of a single one that was more entertaining than Jim Ryan himself. Jim Ryan thanks the PlayStation community as he announces his plans to retire from Sony Interactive Entertainment in March 2024. Well, hold up, Jim, hold on. You can't leave just yet because Bloodborne is still not on PC, okay? You're giving us everything, and I thank you for all of your hard work, Jim, but I never asked for any of these mid-station games. All I wanted was Bloodborne, so you better announce Bloodborne for PC before March 2024. Don't you dare leave us hanging with all of these live service updates and no goddamn Bloodborne. It's just absolutely crazy to me to see Phil Spencer outlast all the other CEOs. All we got left are Gabe Newell and Phil himself. Oh, the times they are a-changin'. And what I mean by that is I'm getting older. Not gonna lie, seeing Jim getting ready to exit the industry is starting to make my bones feel a little squeaky. After all, he's been working for Sony longer than I've been alive on this planet. And there ain't no denying in those 30 years Jim has done an excellent job. Yes, we meme on him due to all the embarrassing crying and tantrums he threw at the CMA, but there ain't no denying his body of work with PlayStation is impressive. He's taken this brand to heights that very few CEOs could. Love him or hate him, you can't deny he's been a huge asset to this company for so long. So seeing him getting ready to go is absolutely a huge deal. And speaking of deals, it all seems to coincide right around the time the ABK merger is getting ready to close. I'm not saying that the higher-ups are angry at him because he failed to block the merger of Activision Blizzard, and they're now pressuring him to step down, but it is hilarious that it's right around the same time, especially after all the consumer backlash with Jim's obsession with the ABK merger that led to a lot of fans losing faith in him. So many PlayStation fans kept telling Jim, please knock it off with the ABK merger. Focus on the games you have now. Give us a good presentation. So it really sucks to see that this is the body of work Jim is going to leave behind before he's gone. Not the best way to exit. Knowing that the last year of your career was spent with a very underwhelming PlayStation showcase, a disastrous tablet reveal, and overall a pretty underwhelming lineup of games, it sucks to see that Jim is not going to exit on a banger. It gives off the impression that he's been asked to retire. You see, Jim Ryan was a real quiet man for the majority of his career at PlayStation. He didn't really get that vocal until the last year of his career, where he spent all of it trying to stop Microsoft from making an acquisition. It's really underwhelming. As you will have seen today in the news, I have announced my retirement after nearly 30 years at Sony Interactive Entertainment. I did not take this decision lightly, and I absolutely love Sony Interactive Entertainment and our community, but of late I've been finding it increasingly difficult to strike the right balance between having my home in the UK and my job in the United States. As mentioned in the press release, I will continue my role as president and CEO until March 2024. Effective April 1st, 2024, Hiroki Tataki will be appointed interim CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment while he continues his current role at Sony Group Corporation.
Oh, no!
Are we allowed to say
You can't! I guess we all should.
I don't know what you mean by that, Jim. You spent the majority of this year in the UK. Remember? I'm sorry, I'm trying to take my tinfoil hat off, but this thing's been melted to the top of my head. I just find it very hard to believe a CEO of a company would suddenly retire over something like this. Your living situation? Really? I'm sorry, but I'm not falling for that one. Something happened with the higher-ups, didn't it, Jim? I mean, if you're gonna come up with an excuse, you gotta come up with a better one than that. Let me guess, someone for the company saw that picture of how you were holding the PlayStation controller and said, oh my god, we need someone who actually plays video games. Get this guy out. In what world is the CEO of a billion-dollar corporation, you know, someone who can own a piece of property in each and every single country on the planet, unable to balance between his work and his home? I'm sorry, but I'm calling bullshit on that one. In the 30 years you've been working for the company, all of a sudden now you have trouble balancing that? No, clearly there's a much more personal reason, and this is just PR talk. PlayStation clearly doesn't want to admit they have an issue with Jim. I mean, why throw him under the bus anyway? He's been absolutely loyal and has done good work for the company for so long. But for the love of God, if you're gonna cover it up, do a better job than this. I feel humbled at having the opportunity to lead a company delivering products that touch millions of lives. From award-winning games to the incredibly immersive technical achievements delivered with PlayStation 5, I'm immensely proud of what we have achieved and very optimistic for the future of Sony Interactive Entertainment. From my beginning in Europe, it was clear that Sony had built something truly special. Generations later, I am still amazed by the excitement and passion of the PlayStation community. It is thanks to you that we have been able to keep innovating and delivering even greater experiences. Since 1994, generations of gamers have inspired us to be better, to push the boundaries, and the results have been incredible. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Well, thank you, Jim. Not something I really say to any CEO, but you were the man that saw the potential of putting PlayStation games on PC. You fulfilled a request that many people wanted for so long, and it is true, under your watch, PlayStation has had their most successful generations. While your final year with the company wasn't the best one, that doesn't take away from the fact that you are one of the GOATs. It just won't feel right not being able to blame you for everything anymore. It's gonna suck. I don't want to blame the Japanese guy, he looks quite nice. News like this just continues to remind me that the gaming industry is completely unpredictable. We were all sitting here thinking Phil Spencer's about to get canned, and instead he's having dinner with Hideo Kojima while Jim is dealing with PlayStation getting hacked and having to plan out his retirement. But honestly, all we really have to go on is speculation. In time, we will know why Jim truly resigned, and the reasoning may leave us a lot more shocked than the actual announcement of his retirement. Now, while we'll have a temporary CEO in the time he's gone, I think who should permanently fill his role should be Pio on Twitter. I mean, look at him. Look at this man. Look how muscular he is. Do you really think Phil Spencer's gonna fuck around with someone like that?
After all these years, seems fucking right. He's stepping down from Sony PlayStation, bruh.
Only this man is capable of stopping the ABK merger, and he'll do it physically. And also, unlike Jim Ryan, he actually knows how to hold the PlayStation controller properly. It's very hard to view this as good or bad news for PlayStation because they're still number one. They're doing perfectly fine. Highest selling console, most revenue generated. I don't think their position in the industry is going to change significantly with Jim's departure. However, it is making PlayStation fanboys incredibly happy because they now think this means PlayStation games will not be coming to PC. Yeah, sure. Behind the scenes, something is happening over there at Sony headquarters. And if you want to be there the day we find out exactly what happened, then you should consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing if you so choose to. With that being said, I'm gonna go check out all the salt going on, and I'll see you then.
Fritango sucks ass.